Welcome back to Insibles, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Countdown. I'm going to go over the top 5 stocks a lot of people have been talking about. I'm going to go over SPRT, as SPRT has a merger vote date coming up on Friday with Greenridge. I'm going to go over DATS. A lot of people expecting for DATS to possibly have a continuation breakout as they did recently IPO. I'm going to go over MMAT previous TRCH previous major runner. A lot of people expecting for a possible major run with MMAT if we can get some momentum coming in MMAT again. MMAT has been consolidating for quite a while. A lot of people wondering if we're going to possibly get a major run from this consolidation. And also CEI, we got rejected right before $1 on Friday. Looking to see if we can continue on up past that $1 mark. And lastly, I'm going to go over BBIG. Again, BBIG, previous major runner. A lot of people wondering if this one's going to possibly continue on up going to this week and possibly have another major breakout. And also where you guys can find all of these breakout alerts so you guys do not miss them again. And I'll ask or return as you guys smash that like button and hit subscribe if you guys want to see more chart updates on potential breakouts that we mentioned throughout the week. So let's jump into this one. So the first one I'm going to go over with you guys here is SPRT. Again, SPRT has that merger vote date coming up on Friday with Greenridge. Looking to see if we can lead into that news and possibly have a major breakout after that merger. I'm going to go over that with you guys here. But however, before we get started, I want to mention that we do alert penny stock and breakout alerts throughout the day. We mentioned SPRT, not this last Thursday, but the Thursday before that, in pre-market at $14.80, jumping all the way up to $60 into the next day, over 400% within the 2-day period. We mentioned FCV halted in the morning this week at $7.20, jumping all the way up to $29 on the day, up over 300% on that day. And this last Thursday, we mentioned IPHA, if you guys did see that major run, that we mentioned at around $5, jumping all the way up to $8.50 on that breakout. And lastly, we mentioned CEI testing that previous rejection that we saw on Thursday, coming in on Friday, having that rejection at 76 cents, jumping all the way up to 95 cents because we broke above that resistance. So again, with that said, if you guys want to see all of our breakout alerts throughout the day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you guys will never miss a breakout alert through the day again. So I want to go over SPRT with you guys here on the 30-minute chart and show you guys exactly what kind of momentum we are looking out for leading into this merger vote date. Again, recently, as you guys can see, we have the 20 moving average that did curl down and did drop below the 50 moving average, which gave us that continuation sell-off. But however, we do have that merger vote date coming up on Friday. And the question is, could we gain that momentum leading into that merger vote date? And the answer is we do need the 20 moving average to cross back above the 50. And that's exactly what I will be looking out for coming into this week on the 30-minute chart with SPRT. Again, not much data on the forward chart, so I want to go over the 30-minute chart with you guys here. And again, I play a ton of these merger vote dates, and in my opinion, SPRT, very simple play here. We just need the 20 moving average to cross back above the 50 leading into that merger vote date. And again, this is not financial advice. This is not something that I'm saying you should go buy. What I'm saying is if it does cross above the 50-day moving average, then in my opinion, I will be playing into it leading into that merger vote date. Now, holding on into that merger vote date, I'm not necessarily going to be doing that. I'm going to be waiting for after that merger vote date. If we do get some momentum, then I will be alerting and playing into it at that point in time. But however, leading into that merger vote date, I want to see the 20 moving average cross back above the 50 to get that momentum and to possibly get that major breakout that we're looking for. And as you guys can see here on the MACD, we have the EMA lines that are dropping below the MACD. But however, we are looking to see if we can cross back above the MACD. As you guys can see, we have been getting some increase in buy pressure, but looking to see if we can continue and get these EMA lines to cross back above the MACD to get that continuation leading into that merger vote date. But again, SPRT definitely on the watch coming into this week to get that 20 moving average to cross back above the 50 to possibly get some momentum coming in with SPRT. Again, SPRT, very volatile. I definitely would be careful. Make sure we do let the play come to us and make sure we do get that momentum and get that confirmation on the 20 moving average crossing above the 50 leading into that merger vote date. And make sure we do get the body of the candle to close above the 50 moving average, in my opinion, to get that continuation. Again, if we do not, for some reason, close above that 50 moving average, in my opinion, crossing back above it, then we will get rejected and possibly sell off from there. But again, in my opinion, SPRT will run up at some point in time. We're just waiting for the exact right price and time. And in my opinion, the 20 moving average crossing above the 50 would give us that momentum leading into that merger vote date. So the next one I want to go over with you guys here is MMAT. And I want to go over MMAT specifically because, again, they were previous TRCH, and TRCH was a previous major runner. And in my opinion, based on the consolidation that we have been having here on MMAT, we could have a major breakout. Again, we have been on quite the run recently. We have been alerting this one throughout the week. But as you guys can see, we still have the 20 moving average above the 50 here on the larger time frame on the 4-hour. So again, we could have a continuation if we do continue on up with its 20 moving average. And again, we are coming back down and getting rejected at that $6.39 mark on Friday in the morning, looking to see if we can bounce off the 20 moving average and continue on up. And as you guys can see here on the buy pressure on the MACD, we also do have the EMA lines that are still above the MACD, showing us that we very much could continue. Again, when the EMA lines are above the MACD, it does show us that we could continue. As you guys can see here previously in this chart, we had this major breakout previously, and we were looking to see if we can continue after this major spike. At this point, we came back down, tested the 20 moving average, and spiked back up and continued on since then because we had the EMA line still above the MACD, and we also did have the 20 moving average still above the 50 moving average, showing us that we could continue. And sure enough, that's exactly what did happen on TRCA. So we're looking to see if we can continue with that momentum here. As you guys can see, we are looking to see if we can bounce off the 20 moving average and possibly get that major spike here on MMAT. Again, MMAT definitely on the watch with this momentum and consolidation that we have been having to possibly have a major breakout from this consolidation. And in my opinion, based on the way that the market has been looking and based on what we have been looking for, which are these major runners, MMAT definitely on that list for a possible major breakout, and we will have them on watch coming into this week. Now, the next one I want to go over with you guys here is BBIG, and the reason I want to go over BBIG is because, again, we did alert this one, not this last week, but the week before that, on that major breakout, and again, we're looking to see if we can continue on up with that momentum. And in my opinion, as you guys can see, we do have, again, the candles coming down, looking to see if we can bounce off the twin moving average. And what I really like about BBIG is that they are holding up. They're not a complete pump and dump. Usually when you see things that are jumping extremely strong, they usually have a huge dump if they are pretty weak. But as you guys can see here on BBIG, we actually are trying to hold up, trying to test this 20 moving average and trying to bounce off of it. So again, in my opinion, BBIG definitely on the watch. But as you guys can see here on the MACD, again, this is the buy pressure. As you guys can see, we have that decrease in buy pressure recently, looking to see if we can increase in buy pressure. So again, definitely on the watch for that increase in buy pressure. As you guys can see, we have the EMA line still above the MACD. Again, we had the EMA lines below the MACD for quite a while, and we finally did cross above the MACD, giving us that continuation. As you guys can see, again, on MMAT, we were barely crossing above the MACD, showing us that we could get that momentum with MMAT that we did have here on BBIG previously. But however, as you guys can see here on BBIG, we are looking to see if we can come down and test this 20 moving average and bounce off of it. And in my opinion, that's exactly what we will be looking out for. And in my opinion, to get that confirmation, to have that major breakout and to not get rejected here at this previous high that we had here at $12, in my opinion, would be to break above this previous buy pressure point that we had here. And that's exactly why I did set my alert right above this previous buy pressure point. So that way, if it does break above it, then we will have that confirmation on that momentum. And in my opinion, BBIG definitely the watch. But however, again, we are looking to make sure we can increase in buy pressure to get that momentum. And if we do not increase in buy pressure and we somehow do have the EMA lines drop below the MACD, in my opinion, then we could have a continuation sell off at that point in time. So again, BBIG definitely on the watch for that confirmation on that momentum, in my opinion. Again, if we don't get that momentum, then again, we could have a continuation sell off. But in my opinion, based on the way that they have been holding up, they are definitely on the watch coming into this week for that bounce off the 20 moving average and to continue on up with the 20 moving average curling up here. So the next one I'm going to go over with you guys here is CEI. And the reason I want to go over CEI is because we mentioned CEI on Friday. We mentioned their alert at exactly 76 cents. And I want to go over exactly why we did mention that. As you guys can see, we had that previous rejection on Thursday at 76 cents. And we were looking to see if we can continue on past that. And as you guys can see, we were testing that 76 mark. And that's exactly why we did alert this one. And sure enough, we did get that increase in volume, giving us that confirmation on that momentum, jumping all the way up. And again, leading into that $1 very key resistance for every single penny stock. We were leading into this $1 range. And as you guys can see, we had that volume increase. But as you guys can see here on the MACD, we had that increase in buy pressure, giving us that white shaded line, showing us that we were going to sell at that point in time, especially getting rejected and having that white shaded line exactly right before that $1 mark. So as you guys can see, we had that continuation sell off since then, looking to see if we can continue on up. And as you guys can see, we have this 100 moving average curling down here. And as you guys can see, if we do continue to curl down, we will continue to sell off. And as you guys can see, we have a lot of sell volume that has been coming in towards the end of the day on Friday. So in my opinion, CEI still on the watch to break over that $1 mark. And in my opinion, CEI only on the watch to break over that $1 mark. So again, setting our alert right above this previous buy pressure point that we see here, in my opinion, would be the alert that I would be setting. And we could be setting one here, but in my opinion, that would be an early alert for that confirmation that we're looking for. So as you guys can see, we're looking to see if we can continue with CEI, but only over that $1 mark is what I will be looking for. And again, our alert will be set. And if it does happen, we will be alerting this one in the Insta room, of course. Now, the last one I'm going to go over with you guys here is DATS. And the reason I want to go over DATS with you guys here is because a ton of people think that DATS might break over $10. And I want to show you guys exactly what kind of momentum we do have recently and what exactly has to happen for us to break over that $10 mark. So you guys can see here, again, we have been consolidating on the 1 hour chart, on the 20 moving average. As you guys can see, we continue to bounce off this 20 moving average and looking to see if we can continue to bounce off of it and continue on up and possibly get this 20 moving average to continue to curl up here. As you guys can see here on the MACD, as far as buy pressure goes, we do have a decrease in buy pressure, even though we have been increasing in price action. And as you guys can see, we also have been decreasing in sell pressure. But however, as you guys can see, we have got some increase in sell pressure recently, looking to see if we can continue on up. But in my opinion, based on the EMA lines coming down, we are going to make sure we are careful here, make sure we can get the EMA lines to stay above the MACD. And in my opinion, with the EMA lines staying above the MACD and getting an increase in buy pressure is exactly what we will be looking out for. In my opinion, to have that confirmation over this $10 mark again, we could come up and get rejected again around $9. And in my opinion, breaking over $9 would be great. But however, breaking over $10 is very key for every single stock. And in my opinion, breaking over $10 with that momentum is what I would be looking for. So again, I will be setting my alert right above this point here at $10. And again, if we do get alerted, then we will be looking for that momentum here on the buy pressure to make sure we do get that strong push here. As you guys can see, we have been decreasing in buy pressure recently, even though we have been increasing in price action. So we are looking to see if we can continue on up with buy pressure. As you guys can see, towards the end of the day, we got some sell pressure at the very end of the day. Now, that doesn't mean that we're going to necessarily sell off from here. It means that we could come down with some sell pressure and make sure we do not drop below our previous sell pressure points to get that possible continuation. And then if we can continue on up with buy pressure, and again, breaking above our previous buy pressure points, we will be setting alerts right above these previous buy pressure points. So to set that alert here on the MACD, you come over to the plus sign here, just like you do on the price action. As you guys can see, you come up right above this previous buy pressure point, set our alert here, and then same thing here on the previous major breakout point that we did have with this buy pressure. We will be setting an alert right above this previous buy pressure point. Now, a quick tip, let's say DATS were to come all the way down to $5. We still have our MACD alerts, so if we do get any momentum within DATS at any point in time, and again, this is extremely important on the MACD, if we can break above our previous buy pressure points, even though we are all the way down at around $5, $1, $3, wherever it is within the stock, we do get that same amount of buy pressure and confirmation on momentum. So again, if we do break above these points at any point in time, then we will get some momentum and we will be looking for DATS to possibly break out at that point in time. So again, with that said, if you guys want to see all of our penny stock or breakout alerts throughout the day, go to instables.com in the description below, and you guys will never miss a penny stock or a breakout alert through the day again. And everybody that has been supporting the channel, everybody that has been in the comment section, I appreciate every one of you guys. As always, much love to you guys. And if you guys do like this video, it does help other people find it, and it does help the channel grow. And I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.